Alright, you guys. Hey, Stravo, Dobro dan, hello, ciao. This is Eric, and we're gonna go on another walk. So we're in Belgrade, Serbia, as usual, and I'm leaving my accountant, and we're just gonna go cruise around a little bit. I haven't been walking a lot lately. Mainly because, well, I've been lazy. I tried riding my bike with the camera, and honestly, that didn't work out really good. Too much head movement. But I think I'm just gonna go run around a little bit. I'm trying to pick some streets that I don't normally walk on, so it's something different for you guys to see. Yeah, I'm trying to stay clear of the protests, mainly because I haven't been here long enough, I feel, to have a really good, educated opinion. Because on one hand, from what I see, I like the government's stance on a lot of things. I like the fact that, the government has made Serbia a strong, independent nation. Independent of the EU. But I notice there's difficulty here in a lot of things, and the trickle down, like the resources don't always trickle down the way they should. And that's a problem everywhere. That's not a problem just here. But what's unique here are that the people, we call them the students, but it is the people, have organized these protests, and they're well organized. Every day, I think 7 minutes before noon, for 15 minutes, they occupy intersections, they stop traffic, but they do a great job in managing that. Military man. So I know a lot of the complaint is stuff like government contracts that are given to companies and people that are well connected. That's no shocker, right? That happens everywhere. In fact, so I worked at Warner Brothers, and I was lucky to work with the CEO, for the CEO, put it that way. So I got to see a lot, hear a lot. I've also have my own companies. No big company likes to do business with a small company. No big company is there to give a leg up to a small company. It's an unusual circumstance when that happens. It has to be that the product is just so amazing that they're able to pull it off. This big train here was waiting for me. Look at this boat. very interesting. So I've been here for 2 years now. Been here over 2 years. The newness has worn off, of course. It doesn't seem like so unusual anymore. Not that it really ever did. Honestly, Serbia could be the 51st state. You know, if they're willing to accept Canada and Puerto Rico, Serbia could easily be the 51st state. And look at the flag. It's red, white, and blue. It's not so different, you know. I mean, no place on earth is so different. I went to Kuala Lumpur, Malaysia. Now that was different, especially at that time for me. That was 20 years ago, a little over 21. That felt like I was on another planet. And you know, it's the jungle. You smell jungle rot when you get off the plane. There's like slime, moss running down every building. It's very different. Although they spoke English there, and they had malls, and you know, it was very familiar. Which is, you know, it's definitely nice to see that when things are familiar. Serbia is very familiar. This is known as the second world country, I believe. I don't know what makes it such. I mean, it has portions of the city that are, you know, maintained nearly as well as anywhere I've seen in America, and there's portions that are not. And I've seen that in America too. So it's a bright day. That's what it's like, February 5th, I think, or 6th? Oh, terrible, I don't even know. And it's about, maybe, feels like about 6 degrees out, Celsius. And it's a little after 1. Waiting for the light here. We're gonna go this way. There's only so many streets to go home here. It's not so off the beaten path. So I started doing this just for fun. Just a way for me to talk to myself, basically. And what started happening is people started watching. And because of you guys, I got my watch hours. I got like 12,000, I think, at this point. I only needed 4,000. But what I need is subscribers, you guys. Now, I made a big mistake, and I thought, well, what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna post popular films. And I did so counting on YouTube to let me know if something is copyright or not. And if it was, sometimes it would say no strike. But then Warner Brothers, and I know they do this because I worked alongside the department that actually makes sure that there is no copyright infringement. They notified YouTube that I had a title that they considered copyright. So I pulled it down, and I pulled down everything that I had that had any kind of copyright. So I pulled a lot of my material down, and I've been much more aware of what I'm posting. But yeah, that gave me a strike though. So now, you know, I have to be careful. I don't want to lose the channel, and I can't monetize the channel until after the red strike is lifted, which I think is April 25th, 2025. But in the meantime, I'm going to keep putting out some videos. And if you guys would do me the giant favor of clicking that subscribe button, that'll get me to where I need to be, which is eventually monetized. And if I could do this full time, I'll take you with me to America to gather up the things I packed. I have literally 30 years of things packed into a trailer there. Anyways, yeah, when I go back to America, I'm going to try to sell off all these things that I packed. And I have a complete theater, like MTS, movie theater. All the equipment for that. Going to be no small task to try to sell off all these things, but maybe even with your help I can do it easier if you guys spread the word for me, and maybe by that time we'll do some live feeds and show you guys what Chatsworth, California looks like. gonna cut through the park here. Oh, this guy's got a bunch of parchment paper. Or something like that. It's kind of chilly out. It's one of those bright winter days. We have not had a lot of rain. I guess this time of year there is less rain, right? Rain normally means warmer weather. Otherwise it's called snow. So yeah, I find the protests here, they're fascinating to me how well organized they are. In America, protests are usually messy and often end up in destruction and even death, unfortunately. Now I've heard that that's happened here too, and we know Serbia has a history that honestly I'm not that well versed in to give anybody a history lesson. But it seems like this is a country that's just located in a place on the planet where it can easily be overrun by, you know, people that are coming from elsewhere. That's the beautiful Parliament building here. It's like what happens is that any army going to Europe that was formed in the south has to come through here if they're going. Like if an army is in the south and they want to go to Europe, they're going through the Balkans. So just by the fact of where it is located, is you have traffic of, you know, potential conflict. Also, you know, it's interesting to me, Serbs they definitely have the most beautiful women. I mean, arguably such. There's beautiful women everywhere. But some of the most beautiful women I've ever seen are Serbian. Some of the smartest people. Everybody here speaks English. Not everybody. And that's not to say that makes you smart, but in comparison to America, you know, we don't learn enough about the world in America, and I believe that's on purpose. to some degree. We've been let down by our education system, and I think it's to keep the people compliant. They want people just smart enough to run the machines and, you know, to do the work, but not smart enough to understand they're getting screwed. So that's what's happening here. And here, just the amount of people that speak English, or I'll ask somebody, do you speak English? They say no, and then they have a whole conversation with me in English. And I'm trying to learn Serbian. I haven't put real effort into it. Just by being here 2 years, you know, I know many words, put it that way. But Serbian conjugation is next level. There's like 6 placements. I don't know, it's complicated. There's the bookseller again. So I have lots of stories to tell, but at the moment, I'm trying not to be